sitting back in your chair. And let your low back press into the back of the chair. Do a little wiggle side to side. Move the shoulders around and move the head if you'd like. Close my door. All right. So you don't have to be absolutely still when we start. I want you to feel as if you can kind of get any of that tension out away from your body as we get started and getting centered. So as you find a place, a little bit of stillness, let your feet, settle into the ground, feel the chair underneath your thighs, and leaning your back into the chair as well. So take a moment to let your body settle. Can we let go of the day's activities, start to, be off to the side for just a bit. And if you want, you can place your hands on your thighs or just let them hang. We're just going to take a few breaths here. So just feel your inhale, expanding the ribs, maybe even feeling your ribs lift up and away from your hips. And as you exhale, start to soften the shoulders, relax the belly. Good. We're just going to take about 3 more of those. Good. And then just coming back to a natural breath whenever you're ready, we'll begin to open the eyes. All right, so as we open the eyes, let's go ahead and stretch the arms forward. I want to make sure we use the hands, open and close the hands. So we'll get our wrists ready for the movement we're going to do today. And then as you take fists, turn, circle or rotate the wrists around a few times. Good. One direction and then the other. Good. All right, and then bring your arms down by your sides. We're going to turn the palms forward and then make fists with your hands and knuckles up. So I want you to feel that stretch across the wrist there and then reach the fingers down. Good. Knuckles up, fingers down. Good. One more time. And fingers down. Turn the palms down. And we'll make those fists again, but this time the knuckles are going to point down. And then reach the fingers up. Beautiful. Couple times. 2 more times. Good. And then lift. All right. And then just shake out the hands. So I just want our wrists and hands to be ready if you are using any weight today. So we're just going to let the hands relax. And while we're sitting in the chair, go ahead and stretch out one leg. Bend the knee. Bend the knee a couple times. Stretch and bend. A couple times. So as we sit back in the chair, you can start to notice the muscles that take that leg up. And then as you take the leg one more time, let's get the ankle moving. So point and flex. Good. And then rotate. And then other direction. I know I'm starting to feel it right across the top of the thigh. All right, and then bring the leg down. Second leg. So just bending and stretching. Bending. Kind of just getting that knee joint moving a little today. My knee is popping. This side always pops a little bit. All right, and then stretching out, point and flex to the ankle. Good. And then rotate around one direction. And then the other way. So just want you to kind of see the ankles getting released. Bring it down. Arms are going to be by the sides. With an inhale, arms forward. And exhale, down and back. We'll keep that rhythm going with your breath. Inhale, lifting, and exhale, back. Good. And you can come as high or as low as you want. Good. And as you reach back, you might even decide you want to reach further back. So kind of take a moment to do that one more time. Inhale, lift. And exhale, down and back. Good. And then just letting the arms hang by the sides, turn the palms forward and turn the palms back. So kind of feeling how that shoulder joint finds that rotation throughout the body. Okay. All right. And then shoulders up, inhale. Exhale, relax. 2 more times, inhale up. Let go of the big sigh. And 1 more time. Good, exhale, release. Beautiful. So we're gonna still stay back in our chair, and I wanna come into the kind of feeling the neck now. So with your chin, make sure your chin is up and back. Because a lot of times what many of us do is take our head like this. So we're gonna make sure our chin is up and back. And then we're gonna lean the right ear toward the right shoulder, only to the point that you feel a little stretch across that left side of the neck. Okay, so you can hold it there, keep the breath going. And if you want a little bit more, you can take your left arm and reach it out diagonally, kind of about hip height here. And if you want, you can even reach the arm back a little bit. See if you can start to feel that down into the shoulder as well. Good. And then slowly taking the chin slightly to the right and turn your left palm up. Thumb is reaching back. You can start to feel more intense through that whole side. And then again, if you want to add movement, we're taking the chin up and down a couple times. So always knowing that you can stop a pose, you can make it smaller. You can do something different anytime you want to. This is just me giving you some suggestions. All right, bring your head back to neutral, relax the left arm, and then just pause. Notice what you feel, between your arm and your shoulder. Notice that we've done one side and not the other. And of course, I have to do the other side or else you're going to feel lopsided the rest of the day, right? All right. So again, chin up and back. Feel the back of the neck get long. And then we're leaning left ear toward left shoulder. And then option right arm out. Good. And so you can kind of keep the shoulder down, but maybe the arm goes back if you want to. And then from that, you can do a little diagonal, chin up and down. Good. And then slowly taking the chin to the left and then turning that right palm up. So just finding that right side of the neck, maybe noticing the twisting movement here. And again, as you continue your breath, the chin up and down. Good. Then release, bring your head back to center. All right, we're just gentle circles, drawing the letter O with your nose. And I don't care how many times I do this a day, my neck always does little crackly sounds. A few times one direction, a few times the other. Good. All right, bring your head back to neutral. We're going to start to move forward in our chair so that our back is no longer leaning against the chair, but always knowing that if you're starting to feel tired through your back, you can go all the way back, okay? I always joke that it's okay to lean back, but what we don't want is slouching. That's the only thing that's not a good idea. So if you need to go back, it's all the way back, okay? So we're coming forward, feel your feet on the ground. All right, and as you press down through your feet, start to lift up and get long through your spine. All right, so let's just kind of take an inhale to come on up and an exhale to soften, to come into our normal slouching. This is just kind of where our body tends to go. And then lengthen, inhale, exhale, round, not even cat-cow, just slouching. And then one more time. So keeping the length and then letting the round happen. And notice it just feels so comfortable. We're so used to going into this slouching pattern, at least I am, that it takes a little bit of work for me to come into this upright position. Now, don't feel like you need to be militant about this. We want to keep the spine long without being very strict, okay? So now let's do shoulders up. Inhale, up and exhale, back and down. So we're taking that a couple more times. Inhale, up toward the ears, exhale, back and down. And one more time. Good. And then reversing direction, shoulders back, and then up and forward. Couple more times. Nice. All right. So now that our shoulders are kind of worked out, we can get ready to go from there. placing the feet on the ground. You can optionally take the legs wider if that's more comfortable. We're just going to take the body around in some circles. So let your body move around, and you can go as slow or as fast as you want. I just want you to feel this wherever you notice it. And if you find a spot that you really like, feel free to stay there for a bit. Maybe it feels good to lean for a little bit or lean forward. You're kind of playing around with that circular motion. And then, of course, after a few times, you'll want to go the other direction as well. All right, so notice that if your hands are on your thigh, this is a little bit more of a stretch. And if you come back to center, we can turn this into more core work. So I like the relaxing version, but if you want more core work, spine is long, belly's drawn in, and without holding on, we're moving in that circular motion. And notice that you're already using some core work, right? All right, so you always have the option to bring your hands back down, or you can start to reach out and around, right? So you can start to feel how the back, your back muscles, your sides, your abdominal muscles are working to control this. And then again, other direction. So you can make it even like a sweeping motion or a stirring motion. All right, and I know that I'm really feeling it there. So I'm going to take a little break. Phew. All right, so if you ask for a core, you're going to get core, okay? Just so you know. All right, so we kind of started to move through the spine a little bit. And let's continue with moving through the hips. So with your legs wide and your toes kind of going out directionally, to the side, we'll start to move through windshield wipers. So we're kind of going side to side. Feel free to hold onto your chair so you don't fall out of your chair. We're just going side to side. We're kind of warming up the hips, noticing one knee dipping in while the other leg goes to the other side. All right, so we're going to play a little bit with our brain activity here. So as the knees go to the right, can your head turn to the left? And as your knees go to the left, can your head turn to the right? It's just something fun to play with. So we're just letting the head go opposite direction of the knees. Yeah, just for fun. All right, and then come back to center. Nice job. All right, bring the legs back to center. We're going to bring right leg in. Give it a hug. All right. So begin to curl. I'm going to turn diagonal so you can see. We're going to curl as if we were that cat, trying to bring our nose to our knee, rounding. And then bringing the right leg down and then lifting open into our cow pose or just expanding our spine, chest. So inhaling here, exhaling, rounding and curling. And then expanding and opening. Last time. So we're kind of taking our cat-cow and adding a little bit to it. Good. And then release. Beautiful. Notice how that felt. And where you started to feel it in your body. And then we'll go to the second side. So left knee in. Good. Just giving that a hug. And once again, we start to curl, basically letting the spine round and bringing the belly in as we round toward the knee. And then as you come up, stretch out the left leg, open and lift. Good. And then round. Good. And open. All right. Last one. And then open it up. Good job. All right, bring it back to center. All right, deep breath in. With an exhale, just finding your bends. So you can come hands to thighs, forearms to thighs. Some of you say that's enough and it's okay to stop there. If you decide you want to go further, you can bring your hands down to your shins. You can start to go further down towards your ankles, the ground. Just paying attention, making sure your back is actually enjoying that and you're not just going to try to see how far you can go. Once you've got to the space you like, then pause and breathe. Take about maybe 2 rounds of breath there. It might even feel good to do a little wiggle side to side, a little sway side to side. Good. And then once you're back to center, bring your hands back to your thighs and come back up. All right, nice job, everybody. It's a good time for a water break. If you take water breaks, I like to take them, so I always offer them throughout the class because I get thirsty and I want you to drink water too. And what I just did, by the way, if you noticed, it's not the smartest thing to do. I leaned over to grab my water bottle. The smarter thing to do is to bring my leg over and then bring it back, okay? Because if I'm leaning this way, I'm straining and I might fall or I might hurt something. So it's always smarter to bring your leg over to grab it. That's just something I learned from a doctor, is to use your legs as part of your movement, okay? All right. Sometimes I don't practice what I preach. All right. You catch me doing some things I'm not, not the best choice. All right. So before we get into our first weight-bearing exercise, I want to practice it without weights, okay? So without weights, the movement is a hinging and back up. All right. So know that the spine is going to stay neutral. The hands can be on the thighs to make it gentler. So all we're doing is leaning and then coming back up. So you're going to be using some back muscles for this. So if you tend to have a lot of back issues, keep your hands on your thighs and don't go as far. All right. So we're coming forward and then back. All right. So now if you decide you want more, hands across chest, and then you're leaning and then coming back up. Okay. All right. So any point it starts to cause problems, you'll come back to the gentlest one. The final variation is to take one weight and you're keeping it across your chest, elbows kind of in, and then leaning. Feel how the weight pulls you down, and then gravity's pulling you down, and then you're using your back muscles to come back up. All right, so I'm going to go for maybe 3 more because we've done a few already. And back up. Good. And then 3. And back up. So I'm going to stop there, but I'm going to give you time to do more if you want to do more. Okay? Your choice. All right? So I've taught this already today, so I don't want to overdo it. But I just want you to know you are working through the back muscles, which are part of your core. Nice. And that's called a good morning, just so you know. All right. Cool. Nice job. All right. We'll come back to center. Set your weight down for a moment. And we're just going to take a side bend. So lean over to your right side. Notice how the left side feels. And then lean to your left side. Good. So we're going to take it either hands on thighs or arms by the side. And then as you decide you want, if you decide you want to add on, as you lean to the right, left elbow comes up. And as you lean to the left, right elbow comes up. Good. And then one last variation. As you lean to the right, left arm reaches across. Good. And then as you lean to the left, right arm comes across. Beautiful. Come back to center. We're always using the core when we're working through the spine. Okay. So just kind of doing a little wiggle. All right. So now we'll come into the second exercise. And this one's going to be like a punch across the body. All right. So I invite you to take legs wide as if you were going to be in goddess pose, pressing your feet into the ground and even creating a little bit of tension as if you were going to lift up off the chair. Okay. So without the weight, we're going to take the left hand, make a little fist, and then bring your elbow back. Your palm is facing up, right? So you're going to feel how your bicep is working here. You're going to see me. I'm pulling it here, all right? And then I'm going to turn the wrist and punch across the body and then bring it back, all right? So that's the movement without the weight. So you're going to add the weight if you want to. So your weight in the left. We start with palm up, elbow by the side. And then as you push across the body, you're going to rotate so your palm is facing down and then pull back again. Beautiful. So that's 2, at least for me. I'm going to keep going across the body, pull it back. All right, 4 and 5. All right, now we're going to have plenty of opportunity, but you can keep going if you want to, okay? I'm going to stop there, but we're going to have plenty of opportunity to come back to that. So without the weight, right hand, elbow by the side, palm up. And then as you push, we're twisting, right? You're taking your palm down and then pulling it back. Good. And then pushing and pulling. All right. Now adding the weight if you want to. So palm up, push across, almost like you're punching, and then pulling it back. Good. 2. Go at your own pace. It's fine to go faster or slower. 3. I'm going to stop at 5. But I'm going to let you keep going if you want to. So you're pushing across and pulling it back. Good. All right. And you can keep going if you want to. All right. So now I'm going to put my weight down. If you're feeling really ambitious and you want to have one weight in each hand, you can. I'm not doing it. I'm just going to do without weights. Okay. So now this movement is twisting, right? So we're twisting the body. And so think about this like it would be almost like a boxer, right? Where we're pushing across. So feel free to do this. We're going to go across the body and then the other side. Good. And then pause, pull, cross. Good. And in actual martial arts and boxing, you actually have to put your whole body into it, not just your arm. You're actually pushing through your whole body. Yeah. Good. Phew. That's enough for me. All right, nice. Looks like you like that one. Don't worry, don't overdo it because we have one more to do when we're standing. If you want to do the standing, okay, and just kind of shake things out a little bit. All right, and then we're gonna bring the legs together. All right, and heels slightly apart. I haven't taught this before with you guys. Toes touching, heels slightly apart. Inner thighs rolling towards each other. So think of your thighs as like a scroll and they're rolling in. You're going to start to feel the inner thighs working and you may feel it in your outer hips too. All right, so notice that. It's called, this is part of foundation training. It's not yoga exactly. So from there, we're going to lengthen the spine, feel your ribs lift away from your pelvis. Good. And then your hands will just bring by the sides, palms facing forward. Good. Chest lifts, chin is back. Take a deep breath into the back of your rib cage. And exhale by pulling the belly in away from your waistband. Good. Take 1 or 2 more breaths here. Keep the inner thighs rolling in towards each other. Keep lifting up through the back of the neck. Good. Chin down, back of the neck lengthening. Good. 1 more deep breath. Exhale completely and then release. I know, and that's one of those things where it may not look like you're doing a lot, but there's plenty happening all at the same time. Okay. All right, wiggle it out. Let yourself feel a little release from that work. And then we do have one more that we're going to do with the weights. All right, so this time we're going to take our legs wide. And then we're going to angle both legs over to the right so we're in a lunge position. So your right foot's planted, your right hand can hold the chair, and the left knee can either be pointing down or you can take your leg off to the side or side saddle. So choose what works best for your hips, okay? This is one of those poses where you can feel the front of your thigh if you're in this position, and you can tuck or untuck your toes, your choice, okay? All right. So from where you've chosen to be, you're going to keep your weight in your, actually, let's do without the weight first, okay? All we're gonna do is lean forward a little bit. We already established that when you lean forward, you're working against gravity, so you're using your core. And what we're gonna do is the left elbow bends and you're bringing your hand towards your shoulder to curl into your bicep, and then straighten the arm and reach it back. All right, so we're going from bicep to tricep, back of the arm. All right, so now you have the option to go ahead and place your weight in that left hand. Right hand is holding the chair or leaning against your right thigh. And we're going to bend, curl, and then straighten and reach back, kick back. It's called a kickback. All right, so that's 2. And I'm just going to go to 5, and you can decide how far you want to go. 3, 4. Good. Last one is 5. So there's 2 different exercises here. All right, and then come back to center. Phew. Give yourself a little shake. Notice how that felt. Maybe move your toes around a little bit, your feet. All right, so the bicep is here, and then the tricep is the back of the arm. All right, so that's what we're doing, both of those in the same exercise. All right, and then now we'll go to the left. So legs wide, swing over to the left. So again, you can always be side saddle if you prefer, rather than right foot back. Okay, your choice. All right, without the weight, right hand, we're going to lean forward, work against gravity, bend the elbow, bring the hand closer to your shoulder, and then kick it back, straighten the arm, and reach back. All right, so we're just practicing it without the weight to make sure we understand the motion. Then if you decide you want to add the weight, you're placing it in that hand, that right hand, okay? All right, so leaning, bend, curl, straighten, back. Good. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's enough for me, but you can keep going if you want to. Take as many as you want to. You might get to 5, or might get to 10. All right. And then as you complete that set, come back to center, set your weights down. And then just notice how your arms, your shoulders, your back, everything feels. And if you need, you can just shake everything out, maybe even crossing across a little bit. Nice. All right, so. And last thing for the feet, I just want to play with lifting the heels and lifting the toes. Kind of getting your ankles going here. All right, everybody have their coffee today? Coffee or tea, whatever you drink. We're going to see how the brain's working today. So we're going to try right heel, left toe, and then left heel, right toe. And then just going back and forth like paddle boats, right? Like a paddle boat. You got it. Okay, so once you get that pattern going, see if you can get your hands doing the same thing. All right, so I know it's a little tricky, right? This is one of my favorite things, so I come back to it pretty often. And can your hands do something else? I don't know. I'm losing it. Can your hands do something completely different? You would be like rubbing your belly and patting your head at the same time as you're doing that. Good job, everybody. I know it's so complicated, but the more we do that, the more we introduce different things, we can get our brain really working. All right, and just tap out the feet. Good. Nice job. All right. If you'd like a water break, this is a good time. I did it again. I leaned over. I guess because I have it close enough. There's nothing wrong with leaning as long as you're feeling in your, like your core is strong enough to hold, keep you from falling. But if you're feeling a little bit wobbly, it's definitely better to take your leg off to the side. All right, we're going to start to make our way forward, but I'm going to do it in a very specific way. So first variation is hands on thighs. and just a little lean forward, just like we already did. So we pretend we're about to get out of our chair, and then we just come back, okay? All right, second variation, we make fists, and then we come back, all right? Third variation, we lean forward, hold on to the sides of the chair, lean forward enough to lift your tush for just a second and come back. And then come back up. Yeah, good. So just like barely coming out of the chair and then back. Like you changed your mind, okay? All right. And then the last variation is reaching forward or using the sides of the chair to come all the way up and then all the way back down. Make sure your chair is still there. All right. Beautiful. So pick any of those. You can pick the easiest one, the gentlest one, or the strongest one. And we're going to come up 3 times. Good. Down. The hardest way is hands across the chest. Back down. Sit to stand. Last one. All right. Oh, that's the hardest part, is getting back down. All right, and then we have to do one more for blast off. So we're coming all the way up and we do blast off. Yay, cool. All right, release. All right, you want to walk around. If you need to have your chair in front of you, go ahead and walk around. I'm going to set mine to the side. And now that we're standing, get your hips moving. So all we're going to do is just take the hips side to side. Take your time to set yourself up as you need. So we're just going to take the hips side to side. So I had a student ask me the other day, what's the point of this? What's the purpose of this? And it's because we want to get our hips moving. But if you press your hips one direction, notice how that feels along the side of that hip, right? And then press the other side and notice that hip. You might even notice one side is different than the other, right? Mine's definitely different on this side. All right, and then if we press the hips forward, we can start to feel what's going on there, maybe in the low back, and then press the hips back. Good, so we're forward and back. And now if we put those all together, we can make that a circle around one direction. Yeah. Beautiful. And then the other. Nice. All right, and then as you come back to center, we can play around with the idea that our hips can do more than that if we want. So a little bend in the knees, and we're going to do like a belly dance move. So we're going to take the hips in an infinity symbol, like the number 8 on its side. So we're going to see we can do a little bit of a infinity. You do have to bend your knees a little bit to make this happen. Yeah. I don't know, mine are not going, they're looking like a flat 8, right? All right. And then can you take that the opposite direction? Yeah. Nice job. All right, and come back to center. Yay, good job. Phew, noticing how that felt. All right, so let's start with our toes facing forward, finding our mountain pose, finding that strong length of the spine without being rigid. So don't feel like you have to be a soldier. We just want arms, our shoulders over our hips over our feet, our heels, and even our ears are over the shoulders. So just kind of feeling that length of the spine here, and then taking a circle. So arms reach out and up, inhale, and exhale, bring them back down. Good, we'll take 2 more, taking 2 more. Just add the breath. Keep the breath going, exhale, beautiful. And last one. Inhale, reach up. Good, exhale. All right, bring your arms back down. Nice job. Hold on to the back of your chair. And I'm turning myself sideways just so you can see what I'm doing. And then we'll start to bring the heels off the ground and then bring them back down. Now, always, when you start to lift your toes, you might find it's really helpful to hold onto the chair so you don't fall back, okay? All right, and then up, heels up. Good, and then toes up. All right, so we're going to add a bit to this. The next time your heels come up, try one arm off the chair, only if you feel steady. And then bring it back down. And toes up. And then the next time your heels come up, try the other arm off the chair. And then come back down. Again, toes up. And this time, as the heels come up, you can see if you can tap your hands away from the chair. Maybe if you feel steady, both arms come up. I don't know, it's not happening for me today. I can't do both. You could do one or both, or that's it, okay? Nice job. So we're just kind of feeling how the feet and all of that come together. And then holding onto the back of the chair, start to step back, bigger steps, bending the knees a little bit and reaching your hips back. So we're finding our down dog. Feeling the length between our arms, our low back, and even our head is right between our arms, so the neck is neutral. Take about 2 breaths here. Feel free to wiggle side to side in the hips. Good. And then as you're ready to come forward, you're just looking forward and stepping forward. Good. All right. As we come to upright, step back with your right foot, bend your left knee, and just press back through your right heel. You may or may not get that right heel to the ground. I just want you to feel the back of the leg getting a nice big stretch there. All right. And then if you're feeling steady, right arm up. Good. And then release down. Hold on to the chair. You're going to lean forward, bringing your chest over the chair or close to the chair. If you wanted to lift, you can lift that right leg back behind you. Good. All right, bring the right leg back down. We're back to where we started. All right, second side. I'm just going to turn so you can see. Left foot steps back, right knee bends. And your back foot can be at an angle or you can keep the heel up. Actually, let's do heel up, because I want you to feel the pressing back of the heel just to stretch the back of your legs, your hamstrings, your calf, maybe even at the Achilles part of your heel. So it's kind of a nice stretch, at least it is to me. All right, and then option from there, left arm up. Good. Beautiful. All right, as you bring your hands down, we're just going to start to lean forward, elbows bending kind of over that chair, shifting the weight into the right foot, option to lift the left leg back behind you. Good, bring the left foot down, and then come back to upright. Yay, good job. Okay, that was fun. All right, let's come back to our exercises, our weight exercises. I'm going to only do one weight, and this is going to be our, these. So if you're already feeling sore in your low back, you may not want weight right now, okay? So the important thing about these good mornings is that we're not rounding. There's none of this. It's hinge at the hips, okay? All right, so bend your knees a little if that's needed. You're going to bring your hands across your chest, no weight or a little weight, and then hinge. And then back up. You do not need to come far. We're just kind of hinging enough to feel gravity start to pull at us, and then we work against gravity to come back up. Good. 4. And up. And 5. Good. And then back up. Good. That's enough for me. You can keep going if you want to. I'm just stopping there because I've done this a few times today, and that's enough. All right. And if you are feeling this in your back, it's supposed to be in your back. But again, if it's too painful, then you need to put the weight down, okay? All right. Good job. All right, set your weight down for now. And we're just going to swing. Let your body just swing side to side. Good. And, you're just coming into a gentle twist. Maybe your hands even tap some part of your body as you do that. Okay. And then the last one of these weight bearing exercises I wanted to revisit while we're standing is the punch across. All right, so for the punch across, we're going to come to goddess legs, which is legs wide, toes turned out. And your legs can either stay straight or you can put a little bend in the knee. Okay, depending on how your knees and how your hips feel. So do not feel like you need to come into a deep bend unless that's what you want. Okay, so we're going to keep that as if we were staying steady from our waist down. And then with our hands by our sides, without our weight, we can simply start by punching and twisting and then coming back and then other side. So we're kind of punching, twisting, coming back. Punch, back. If you want to add weights, feel free to grab your weights, okay? And all we're doing is just feeling that rotation in your body as your arm reaches across you. Good. And we're going really slow. We're not really like punching anybody. All right. Keep going if you want to. Good. And then as you're ready, we're just going to come back to center. Phew, that's pretty intense, I know. All right. Take your feet. Your feet are wide, but this time take your toes forward so your feet are parallel. And then just watching out that you might have to back away from your chair. Keep your knees soft and just a little hinge on the hips. We're going to make this relaxed. So don't feel like we're going to be doing that up and down. You're going to start to slide your hands to your thighs. Maybe to just under your knees. And just kind of seeing how it feels to release that low back and not be working so hard. Good. And bring your hands back to your hips and slowly come back up. Yay, good job. Heel toward the feet, closer together. All right, and then just a little march. Right leg, left leg, yeah. Good, you can even start to pull one knee up and then the other. I know, I've got to do it fast or I'm gonna fall. All right. All right, and finally, before we sit down again, I'm going to see if you want to move to the right side of your chair. And use your left hand to hold on to the chair. Let's start with just feeling 3 corners of your feet. So big toe, mound, pinky toe, and the heel of your feet. 3 corners of your feet. Lift your toes, spread your toes as much as you can, just visually, and then bring your feet back down, toes back down. Good. Shift your weight into your left foot, and then bend the right knee. At first, you can keep your toe down. Good. Maybe you check to see, how's my balance here? Whoa. Don't watch me. Look at a spot that's not moving. All right. You have the option to keep your toe down or lift the leg. You have the option to hold on to your chair or let go of your chair. Good. Breathe. And then release. So that's basically just like I think it's like a Karate Kid, right? Karate Kid move. All right. All right. In between sides, come to the back of your chair. Find a little bit of forward bend, maybe just leaning against your chair. If you want to go back into down dog, feel free to do that. But I'm just going to lean for now just to stretch out my back. Good. And then let's do the second side. So now moving to the left side of your chair. Again, you find those 3 points of contact in each foot. And your focal points. Weight is on the right foot, left knee bends. So again, start with toe down. Option, stay here or let go. Option to lift the left knee. Maybe both arms, maybe not. May not happen today. Good. And then bring it down. Yay. Good job. All right, and just kind of shake out the hips a little bit. All right, we're finally going to make our way back to the chair. Have a seat. Feel free to grab some water again. Well, I think we're done with the weights for today. So I just like to introduce that weight, a little bit of weight training sometimes so that a little bit of different use of our muscles. Weight, load bearing weight. All right. So for a little bit of a hip stretch, we're just going to bring the right knee up. Good. And depending on your body, you can see if you can cross the right ankle over the left, keeping the knee in. If that doesn't happen, you're going to keep ankle crossing the left ankle. Right ankle in front of left ankle or up and over, your choice. Just want to find a little stretch on that right hip here. All right, left hand draws that knee in toward the center. And then if you choose, you can start to rotate your body to the right and reach back with your right hand. I'm too close to the wall, so I can't go very far. Good. We come back to center. Uncross the legs, stretch it out to the right, shake it out. Notice how your hip is feeling. We're going to take a little John Travolta movement. Let the left arm reach up and the right arm reach down. We're taking this big John Travolta stretch. All right, and then right hand goes down, left arm up, over, little side bend. And then bring it back out, arms reach out. Good. Relax your arms, bring the right leg in. Good. Second side. Left knee comes in, give it a hug. Your choice on how high you get here, just by listening to your body. You can cross over if you're there, and if you're not there, you're going to cross over here, okay? So all we're going to do is take the right hand and start to draw the knee in as much as you can. See if you can feel that left side of your hip. Good. All right, spine is long. We start to rotate to the left. Maybe the left arm reaches back. And just keep your breath going. 2 more rounds of breath here. Good. And then unwind back to center. Uncross, stretch the left leg out to the left. Give it a little shake. And we'll take our John Travolta this way. Right arm up, left arm down, staying alive. That's my favorite one, right? All right, I'm just noticing this big stretch of the body. All right, and this time the left hand's going to come down. The right arm's going to go over. All right, and then back out. Take up as much space as you can. And then relax the arms. Bring the leg back. Phew, noticing just what do you need now? Do you want to rest? Do you want to sit back? So take a moment to do anything you want. I'll give you some suggestions. If you're ready to sit back in your chair, you can. But one idea is just to give yourself a hug. One hand to the other shoulder and then just do a little rocking side to side. Noticing now which arm landed on top because we're going to switch it, okay? So use your inhale, open your arms wide, reach it back, maybe even look up. Exhale, opposite arm on top and give yourself that hug. A little bit of a wiggle, a little bit of a shifting, whatever you like to do. Don't forget to give yourself a pat on the back while you're here. And maybe you can send some kisses to your arms, right? One more time, open the arms wide. Exhale, release. Good. We're going to send some kisses to the knee, one knee, and then the other knee, and then one foot. Long distance kiss, and then the other foot. All right, good job. All right, begin to sit back in your chair. And let the low back get a little relaxation here. And let's just do a little more hand work because we were holding onto some weights. So interlace your fingers. We're going to go around in circles. Just move your wrists around. Yeah. All right. And then we're gently pressing the palms forward, if that feels okay in your wrists. Beautiful. Elbows can stay bent if you'd like. And then your choice. Do you want to twist? Do you want to take it up? Wherever you want to go. Okay. And then release the arms. Good. Swirl the wrists around a few times. We'll take that one more time, but what I want you to do, this may sound strange, and maybe you're already aware of this, but if you clasp your hands together, generally all of us choose the same way each time. So can you switch it so that the other hand is on top instead? Good, you all already know this. Good. All right, so just play with that. Notice that it might feel a lot different, and we're going to move those wrists around again. And then one last time, press it forward. Take it up if you want to, take a twist, take whatever you'd like. All right, and then just let it go. Let the hands float back down, wrists float back down. All right, and you'll start to sit back in your chair. Take a deep breath through your nose. Let it go with a big sigh. If you want to close your eyes, you can. And if there's one more movement you need to do before we come into Shavasana, feel free to do that. Give yourself a moment to move your head, your shoulders, anything that you need. Good. And then as you start to find that settling into the chair, arrange your body so that you feel more comfortable. We're going to do a little contract and release. So think about the right side of your body, and you're going to let your whole right side tension. So right fist, right shoulder tightens, right side of your torso, right leg, right toe, maybe even the right side of your face. Everything squeezes in. Inhale. And then exhale, let the whole right side relax. And then the left side. So from your hand to your shoulder, your thigh, your whole side of the body, everything kind of scrunching on the left side with an inhale. And then exhale, let go. Good. Maybe one more time, the whole body, everything tightens up for just a breath. And then as we exhale, we completely let go. And now let yourself soften into your chair, coming to a natural breath. And you'll notice over a few breaths that the body starts to soften just a little bit more. So I'm going to be quiet for a few more breaths and simply let you enjoy a little bit of peace and quiet. And I will bring you back when we're ready. When it's time. Very, very gently bring your awareness back to your body, back to whatever sensations you feel. Using your sight, your smell, your taste, your touch, your hearing to bring your awareness back to this moment. And then we'll find a little bit of movement, maybe letting the fingers wiggle and the wrists move around. Allowing your body to find whatever is ready to move. Could be the toes, the ankles. You might take a big stretch if you'd like. And then as you come back to opening your eyes and back to where we started at the very beginning, can we bring our hands together in the center of our heart and take a little bow to thank yourself for doing this work today? Can you find that part of you that exists, that's you, beneath all the layers of what you do, your roles that you serve in your life? Can you find that place that is you, uniquely you? And that is your gift to yourself, to the world, is sharing that you. Taking a little bow, thank your body for all that it does, and sending some of that gratitude out into the world as well. I want to thank you for sharing your afternoon with me. The light in me sees and honors the unique light in each of you. Namaste. Great. Thank you, everybody.